Well, perfect. We can get started now. It's such a great time we're going to have here. I think, Dr. Joy, we're only going to be here for about 20 minutes.
Yep.
So we'll get started. I'll let you introduce yourself just so we can connect your introduction with your slides, and then you can hand it over to me.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I am Dr. Joy Smith. I am the Vice President of Compliance here at Wakanna. By day, I am an outpatient pharmacist at the Cook County Hospital. And I focus on, in Wakanna, I focus on making sure that we abide by all our regulatory measures that make our company the most reputable, the most successful cannabis company in the Midwest and eventually in the world. So Dr. Rita, if you'd like me to go forward, I surely will. And I'm just going to share my screen so that you all are able to see. And we haven't done a Wakanna Difference in a while, but we are back and in full effect. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. This is the Wakanna Difference, and we're specifically going to be focusing on compliance at this juncture. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so our objectives here, and I'm just gonna minimize my screen so you're able to see. My objectives here are talking about main points that we should be sharing when we're talking about our products. We want to make sure that we're sharing in a compliant manner. We wanna make sure that we're not making any claims. Additionally, we have come up with a Wakanna clearance process. So when we are talking in interviews, when we're talking in written publications, when we're doing vending events, we want to make sure that we're representing Wakanna in the most compliant way possible, and that we're all speaking the same language so that anyone that comes across our products or our opportunity, they understand exactly what it is that they're experiencing. So this may be some of you all. Some of you all may hear all of the information that we talk about in our trainings, in our weekly calls, in any of the information that you're getting, because what we know about Wakanna is that there's no shortage of education. So some of you all may hear all of this information and say, I don't know what to do with all of this. I don't know how to even begin to talk about this. I don't know how to sound like all of the leaders on the calls that are talking about our products, talking about our opportunity. But I'm going to give you some short, snackable tidbits that allow you to understand exactly how you're supposed to talk about these products and how to remain compliant. So first of all, let's talk about the legality. A lot of times when there's an interview process or when there's written submission, there's a lot of things that should be included or that the interviewer will ask the interviewee, which would normally be one of our distributors or someone that's affiliated with our company. What we need to understand is the legality of CBD. CBD that comes from the hemp species of the cannabis plant is legal in all 50 states if it contains 0.3% of THC or less. A lot of times when we have a lot of information, sometimes we may tend to ramble, we may give other details that we're not able to expound upon, and we just want to make sure we get straight to the facts. 0.3% of THC or less makes the CBD that comes from the hemp species of the cannabis plant legal. Next, let's move this up a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm going to minimize it so there's no distraction here. We talk about hemp, we talk about marijuana, we talk about cannabis, and some people use those things interchangeably, but they are not. So let's talk about what this means. The cannabis plant has two species. Think of it like two children. Cannabis plant has two species. That hemp species is where our CBD comes from that makes it legal in all 50 states. High in CBD, low in THC. As a matter of fact, again, 0.3% of THC or less. Marijuana going to have a high THC content and be low in the CBD percentage. So let's just make sure that we understand that hemp is one of cannabis's children and marijuana is the other child. So remember that it's a species. There's species that come from the cannabis plant. Claims. Now we talk about this a lot in a lot of our presentations, but we want to make sure that it is completely understood. And we want you to be able to wear this badge of honor. Yes, I'm compliant. So when you're talking about your products, when you're using language to talk about your products, this language should not suggest medicinal use, imply cure, treatment, or prevention, or imply that someone can just throw all their medications out the window and just start using CBD as a cure-all for everything. There is no immediate replacement of medications, and the patient, excuse me, I'm at work in my work mentality, the customer should always consult their doctor. Even if you are a doctor and recommending these products as a distributor, that patient should always go to their personal doctor so that they can have a more comprehensive picture, a more comprehensive look at all of the prescription medications and the holistic options that they're using. Now, your language can include suggesting that CBD can assist or address symptoms of conditions and work as a complement to existing medications. Now, we know some people come off of their medications as a result of the balance that CBD has provided, but that is not everyone. So we are not going to make that blanket statement. That is not everyone. They can assist, they can address symptoms. Again, recommend speaking with the doctor before use. That's something that's always recommended. Recommend that that patient speaks with the doctor before use and also works with that doctor as they start to use CBD. Now, we talked about the clearance process. The clearance process is something that our compliance division is very excited to roll out. What we want to do is have uniformity when it comes to how our distributors, anybody that's affiliated with Wakanna talks about the products. So one, there's consistent information across the board. And two, we are remaining compliant. Compliance is the word of the day. Compliance, compliance, compliance. So what does this this clearance process include? When you're doing live presentations, whether it's interviews, whether they're through Zoom or in person, whether you have vending events, educational presentations, what have you, we want to make sure that everybody is equipped with the tools that they need, as well as they're presenting and giving information about the products in a compliant way. So the idea is that you would submit the clearance form to myself at drjoy@wakanna.com, and we'll schedule a time to review some talking points. Ideally, if you're having an interview, you would want to ask the interviewer first to give you some of the questions so that you know how to kind of map it out, and that way nerves won't get to you, you won't be rambling, and you're able to give a clear, concise answer that is compliant in nature. For vending events, obviously, vending events may just pop up, but the take-home point is to make sure that we schedule time to kind of talk through some talking points so that we know that you're giving the information in a compliant way. We know that you got it from certification, but we just want to refine that. If there's a written submission, such as something that you're submitting to a paper or a newsletter, or you're sending information or attaching that information inside of your samples, for instance, you want to send that same clearance form that we're going to roll out on December 1st, send that same clearance form to myself, and I'll go over it and read it and edit it, and then you can expect a response within 72 hours. We understand that everybody's not going to be able to schedule time at the same time. Everybody may not send things in at the same time. But the take-home point is that we want to make sure that whatever's going out is going out compliantly and it's going out with accurate information. So I want to thank you. We said that this was going to be quick, snackable, and short. I want to thank you. And remember that this clearance process is going to roll out December 1st. So be on the lookout for the forms, be on the lookout for any other information regarding the clearance process. And let's remain compliant as we continue to grow our businesses, not only in the States, but in the world. Okay. So thank you, Dr. Rita. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Joy. That was very, very impactful, and I want to thank you for taking the time to really help us understand how to stay compliant. My part is going to be short as well. I'm just going to really piggyback on some things that we are doing that you're going to notice more and more of on our Facebook page. I'm Dr. Rita McGuire. I'm the Chief Medical Officer here at Wakanna. I'm one of the co-founders, but absolutely so thrilled and humbled to work with Dr. Joy Smith, our VP of Compliance. She has really come in and really set a stage for us to remain in compliance as we grow in numbers and as our product line grows. So when we think about CBD, it is still under a lot of scrutiny. In fact, the FDA has not really set in stone a lot of regulatory and compliance issues as it relates to CBD. When we think about how our products come with certificates of analysis, to ensure not only that the potency is accurate, but that the product is free from mold, mildew, heavy metals, pesticides. This is not something that the FDA is regulating and demanding from CBD companies. But here at Wakanna, we want to be transparent, and we want our consumers, our customers, and our distributors to have a safe and effective product. So we're still navigating our way, but just know that each and every year, the FDA is getting closer to clear standards that we all will have to abide by. So what I want to go over in my short presentation are some graphics, some infographics that you are going to start seeing on our Facebook page. And the reason why I thought this was really important, because each and every day I get 10 to 15 emails from our distributors and from customers inquiring which product would be good for their situations. And because the FDA does not allow us to make claims, the FDA does not allow us to suggest that CBD would cure, will mitigate any condition. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to put visuals together so that these visuals could help you with certain situations that you and or your customer may be challenged with. So these are some examples. For example, I've had several people who've asked about sinusitis. And when we talk about CBD again, we don't make claims. Never, ever do we make claims. We will make some suggestions that CBD could assist with some symptoms, not the actual diagnosis, but some of the symptoms that sinusitis can have. Sinusitis can present with symptoms of congestion, with pain and pressure in the sinuses. And yes, here at Wakanna, we have products that can assist with the symptoms. So we can't say these products will cure your sinusitis, but can assist with the symptoms that we see that occur. There's some other conditions that we have visuals for, like lumbar radiculopathy. You know, we had a webinar on that, I think last year, but we know again that CBD is an anti-inflammatory. It really does help to reduce inflammation in the body. So no, we can't say that CBD can cure your lumbar radiculopathy, but CBD can address some of the symptoms from lumbar radiculopathy, symptoms of inflammation. So we have these visuals for you now so that you can look at options for those who are looking for a holistic, organic way of addressing their health. These infographics will also give some scientific data on how CBD and the endocannabinoid system and receptors that are needed to release neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin are released when CBD is consumed. So CBD cannot be something that you can say will cure your depression or cure your anxiety, but can help with symptoms that depression and anxiety causes. And then we give some examples of products. The same holds true here in this particular infographic of sciatica. Again, we will show you the disclaimer that you would want to attach whenever you are sharing publicly products and sharing publicly information about challenges. So again, we have another infographic when it shows high cholesterol, high blood sugar, and suggested products that can assist with symptoms. So if you've noticed on our Facebook page, this is the disclaimer that I attach with every single infographic. It's our FDA disclaimer that the statements made regarding these products, and quite honestly, there are no statements that have been made, but the statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The efficacy of these products have not been confirmed by FDA-approved research. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. All information presented here is not meant as a substitute for or an alternative to information from your healthcare practitioner. And we can't stress that enough, that you absolutely want to consult with your physician. You never ever want to stop taking medication on your own. You want to engage your healthcare professional with the product line. You want to engage your healthcare professional that you really are interested in getting another tool in your toolbox to address your health. So please consult with your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product. The Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act requires this notice. So this FDA disclaimer is on our Facebook page, and you'll see that attached to each and every infographic. So let's kind of move into some compliance issues as it relates to the opportunity. You know, we know of many, many companies that were fined large amounts of money in portraying lifestyle, that could be afforded to anyone that joined their company. And one such company was Herbalife. And it wasn't that corporate Herbalife was portraying this lavish lifestyle. Honestly, it was distributors that were not being compliant and following policy and procedures that the corporate headquarters had already set up. So really, really important that we go over this part. So when you join Wakanna as a business partner, you are an independent distributor. You're an independent sales representative. You're not an employee. Wakanna doesn't pay into your health insurance, your life insurance, or anything like that. You get a 1099, of course, if you make over a certain amount of money as an independent distributor with Wakanna. The other thing that's important is not to make income claims. You know, we're in a technology where we're not paid with a check, right? At the very beginning, some of us did receive checks, but absolutely should you never, ever make any income claims to any prospective business partner. Commissions checks should not be used trying to persuade someone to join your business by a lifestyle assumption is not allowed. So it's really, really important that you understand the 7 ways that you are able to make income with Wakanna. You understand our commission breakdown. You understand the compensation plan, because this is important. That will get you out of potentially making false income claims. And then the last thing I just want to recommend is that you review very often the terms and conditions, the policies and procedures that are provided on your website. This can be found at the bottom of your website. You can just hit any of these tabs and really take time to go over with your new business partners this information, because this is critical information that you never ever want to make claims about our product line or make false income claims as well. So we promised this would be short and sweet. I want to thank you for your time. This is my email. You can reach out to me if you have additional questions, ritamd@wakanna.com. And I'm going to stop sharing right there. And I want to thank you, Dr. Joy. This has been great. I'm excited to really do these monthly updates on compliance so that we can really help our distributors to operate in a safe space.
Absolutely. And short, snackable information is what I think really stays with people. When it's a lot of information, we need to give that, but we also need to have little tidbits that people can go away with. So
Wonderful. So thank you so much. We will see everyone next month. Again, reach out to either one of us. We will see you very soon with our hashtag, the Wakanna Difference. Have a great afternoon.
You too. Have a good one.